information is very worthwhile, very pressure for an analysis. So in that case, so we can use that data and put it on the diagnosis for asthma, especially for ICD code, ICD-9. Then we can carry out. Then we can find what is the general symptom and the general prevalence for asthma. And this asthma attack is any related to the season. You can see that we have a very high attack during the winter, so-called winter is after October, and we have seldom have an asthma attack during the summer season, right? And at that time, is any related to the environmental factors such as the air pollution, that is the PM10 molecule, and then you can find the PM10 molecule in different seasons, different periods, also have a different, also quite correlate to the emission for the asthma children. So that means the emission for asthma children is another surrogate for asthma to become exacerbation, right? So this emission rate will quite correlate with the PM10 as well as the rainy season. I think the rainy season quite previously we haven't found it in the other report. Is rainy season in Taiwan also is quite correlated with asthma. So this is the first. We use the so-called national health database then to find what is the symptom and what is the prevalence for our bronchial asthma children in Taiwan. And we also can find is any increase for the healthcare utilization and cost, because this morning I just talked with Brigitte, said because we have a national health insurance, so it will increase for the medical utilization and somebody become less. But still, you can see that according to the random sampling for 2,000 bronchial asthma and more than 31 patients with asthma, but we found that the incidence is about 5.9 for a whole year. But in this patient, we have calculated for the healthcare service, and you can see that for the office visit, that is the outpatient clinic visit, you can see the asthma and non-asthma have a significant difference there. So asthma is nearly about two-fold of the use for the office visit, as well as a hospital outpatient visit. So the outpatient visit, somewhat number of asthmatic patients were larger and also increasing the whole year. But for the ER visit, that is a severe case. It's not such a difference. And totally, you can see that it's more than for asthmatic children under 18 years, the medical cost is about nearly 2.24, and the asthmatic adult is about also nearly 2.4. So the total increase for the so-called national health burden for asthma is quite tremendous. And this tremendous is we can see as compared to the non-asthma, it's about 2.24 higher for the medical use. So actually, already we have found the study. I just mentioned the National Health Insurance study for 1995. So the total health cost for asthma is increased about 84%, just only 4 years. So in 2012, actually it's about nearly another twofold come out. So the medical cost will come in for asthma is quite tremendous for our national. So we have tried to use so-called for the use the quality health insurance and have a special program for the physician as well as the children and the parent. Say you have to take care of your daily control and medication instead of just only when you have an asthmatic exacerbation, you go to the hospital to be admission, or you go to the ER for any treatment, because we found that for ER and admission treatment that will cost a lot for the medical expense. Right? So that is the burden for our asthma. And what, because the asthma is related particularly in children related to the allergy. That is, and for allergic status to develop, that will somewhat like interactive for three factors. One is the genetic, one is environmental, and the other is for our so-called immunological system development. And this development somewhat is definitely related to the gene. And when you check it for go deeper to find what is the molecular etiology for asthma or so-called allergy asthma to develop, that is involved for such as for the first way for the innate immunity in our mucosal membrane, and the secondly for our antigen-presenting cell, the immune system to get activated. And then the thirdly is the adaptive immunity for the T cell activation that produces for the IgE antibody. And then fourthly is the so-called inflammatory process that involve inflammatory cell, such as the eosinophil and mast cell. And the consequence, it become like epithelial cell damage, and this kind of damage will also increase for the inflammatory process to continue going on, become sclerosis of fibrin deposit and so-called airway remodeling. So this kind of process is more than 6 parts and very, very complicated. So if we want to locate, even try to find out any gene defect or genetic variants that can cause asthma, that is quite a difficult project. So for a lot of, we will have seen a lot of very great researchers, they want to jump to the genetic study, and then they will get a lot of genes. And even this kind of gene is so complicated that is also can have a discrimination, say, I can explain for asthma, or even it's very surprisingly, it's just only chocolate out and we don't know what is the function, but it's related to asthma. And more complicated is that when you check all these so-called candidate genes or have been reported in a certain population group, all the genes have a located different kind of chromosome, even cover the whole genome, right? So, and this kind of genome, they have even have a multiple gene-to-gene interaction, or even have a gene-environmental interaction. In this diagram, I have a very good example to illustrate how complicated for the asthma. Especially if we focus just on the so-called monogenic defect, such as if you want to know it's a gene, if it's if for the person that will become very so-called high IgE production, that become Th2 type hyperresponsive, that being so-called monogenic, have been speak 5, stage 3 have been located, that is a monogenic defect. But for the multiple genic that is related to the disease, such as filaggrin that have been found out in the atopic dermatitis. But if you want to know the gene-to-gene interaction or even environment gene